That's Chris Brown, fam. And according to a new lawsuit accusing Chris of orchestrating the assault of several men, his 11/11 tour has been marred with some serious thuggery. According to legal docs, Chris Brown, Yella Beezy, and Chris Brown's entourage lieutenant, Cinco CJ, and Live Nation are all facing a lawsuit filed by four alleged victims who are seeking a whopping $50 million. 50 million. I was about to say racks. 50 mil. Chris Brown's tour hit Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas on July 20th. And after the show let out, plaintiffs Larry Parker, Joseph Lewis, Charles Bush, and DeMarcus Powell say they were invited backstage and escorted there, along with about 40 women, for a post-concert hang. The plaintiffs say it took Chris 30 minutes to enter the VIP area, where they'd grown tired of waiting and began to make their exit, but not without saying goodbye to the guest of honor. According to the suit, Bush says he dapped up Chris, congratulated him on a good show, and received appreciation from the under-influenced artist. Then, Bush claims a member of Chris Brown's entourage shouted loudly, "Man, you don't remember you two were beefing?" And claims Chris replied, "Oh yeah, we were. What's up, nigga?" I don't forget SHIT, and verbally ordered his crew to give Bush the beats. It wasn't the beats by Dre, it was the beats by Chris. Entourage. In the docs, Bush claims he was surrounded by 7 to 10 of Chris's chums who pushed and kicked him. He also claims an entourage member known as Hood Boss threw a chair at his head. The plaintiffs also allege that Chris sent Yellow Beezy and company to F up Parker, chasing him into the dead-end staircase with a locked door. Parker says he was punched and kicked in the head for more than 10 minutes after Chris' entourage, after Chris encouraged all of his companions to get a piece of the action. All four men say they suffered severe injuries and had to undergo various medical treatments. Their attorney, Houston lawyer Tony Bugsby, says at least one of them remains hospitalized and vowed to bring Chris Brown to justice. In addition to the $50 million in damages, the plaintiffs have also filed for restraining orders against Chris, Beezy, and Cinco CJ. This is an article that was produced by TMZ, who is always on the scene of the crime. TMZ be on the scene so much, I be thinking TMZ be committing these crimes. I think they be committing some of these crimes. That's CJ and Chris Beezy right there, fam. Cinco CJ and Chris Beezy on the far right. Cinco CJ in the middle. Chris Brown, of course, on the left. Interesting. So here's the question. Will these dudes get paid? And is this a setup to try to bring forth some criminal charges? It's very interesting to me that these guys would file a lawsuit, we would hear about a lawsuit before we hear about an arrest or a criminal charge or an accusation where that produces an investigation. That's what's strange to me. You know, I had a dude who was asking for it one day. This was back in my boxing days. And I'm going somewhere with this, so follow me, fam. So we training. This is my first time back in the ring after about 10 years. So I get in the ring with him. He whoop on me from pillar to post. I couldn't even get to the second round. It was like the first round, I was exhausted. We were sparring now. Anybody know anything about boxing? If you're sparring somebody in your camp, typically, you know, this is somebody that you trust, that you just kind of working on your mechanics with. You're not trying to knock each other out. But dude was trying to knock me out. And I realized that real quickly that he had set me up, you know. He wanted to knock me out. So I took exception to it. And for the next 2 weeks, I just pretty much built my body up to go to war. And I finally was able to get him back in the ring because he was dodging me. He didn't want to spar with me anymore. He had pretty much did what he wanted to do. You know, he really was trying to just get a rep off me. So, and this was somebody that I actually knew, fam. Somebody actually that I knew, that I respected before that day. So I went and just basically fortified my body, you know, to go to war. So the second time I got him in the ring, I shot him a couple of fade jabs, you know, put that ghost out there, and he fell for it, and I connected. Boom. Brought it back with the overhand right, hit him with the uppercut hook, boom, finishing. He all in. He in the ropes. I'm just pounding him. So my trainer, his trainer, they jump in, they break it up and all that kind of stuff. We get through fighting. He started talking noise outside of the ring. Now, you know, inside of the ring is one thing, but outside of the ring, when you start talking about putting a hurting on somebody, that's personal. So he started talking really loose like that, talking about hurting me and what he'll do and all this kind of stuff. So to make a long story short, I whooped on his ass. You know, I really, really whooped his ass this time. And they broke it up. You know, all of the other guys that was in the gym, they broke it up. And as they were breaking it up, as they were separating us, he said, "You hit me one more time, I'm gonna sue you." Now, this is the guy who started the fight. I mean, this is the guy, he started the fight by making these threats. When he started making the threats, at that point, I had made my mind up, I'm gonna get him. No matter what happened, I'm gonna get him. He ain't getting out of this gym without getting touched. Anybody that's ever boxed or did MMA know that gym fights are gym fights. Gym fights happen more frequently than you might imagine. I'm talking about outside of the ring. Gym fights do happen. So this was a gym fight. But he's talking about suing, which underscored how much of a broad he really was. Because no real fighter that's about something would ever try to sue over a gym fight. You know, it's like two dudes in the locker room that play ball together. They play football or basketball or baseball or any other group sport. They get into a fight and then they try to bring in the police. We don't do that. You settle you settle that in-house. So anyway, fam, I lost all respect for the sucker. But the point is, sometimes you have guys who bring stuff like this on themselves. And this sounds like a situation to me, and I'm not taking sides. I'm not trying to take sides whatsoever. I'm just looking at it from an objective standpoint. This guy got a beef with Chris Brown. They had a beef, and now he comes into the dressing room and act like ain't nothing really happened. And he's surprised that he got hands put on him. And I'm not saying he actually did, but I'm just saying if he did, let's just assume he did. Let's just take his word for it to say he got hands put on him. He brought that on himself. Ain't no way, family. If I know I got a fresh beef with somebody, that I'm finna go behind enemy lines. I'm finna go into their dressing room. It's a controlled environment where they got all the ups. It's all of their people, all of their security, their friends, their entourage, and it's me and a couple of my partners. We walking in there. That's not smart. It almost sounds like dude went in there to get his ass whooped. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be wrong, but it sounds like he went in there to get an ass whooping. And I'm going to tell you something else, fam. If you start a fight, you initiate the fight, whatever, by way of running your mouth or putting yourself in a situation where somebody put hands and feet on you, you don't get to play the victim. You're either the victim or the suspect. You can't be both. And again, fam, I'm not trying to take, if this was D Brown, whoever, Jimmy Brown, and I heard this story, I'm still going to come to the same conclusion. Why even go into his dressing room? Is it about being a groupie? Or was this really about you trying to do something? You trying to kick off some real dust? And I don't believe it was all one-sided, because if dude really had a beef with Chris Brown, he would have to be really brave to go into Chris Brown's dressing room talking about a meet and greet. Come on, family. Come on, man. I'm just not falling for anything, man. I'm not falling for anything. I'm not falling for that. I know Chris Brown ain't got a squeaky clean record, and pretty much nobody does. But I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that one. $50 million. Look, and I know Tony Bugsby, okay? I know Tony. Tony go get the money. He's a money man. If Tony get on the case, he go get millions, sometimes hundreds of millions. Those are the type of cases that he go out there and get. He go get it, come back with it. So they got the right lawyer. I can tell you that much. They got a hitter. They got a hitter in their corner. So this ain't nothing to play with. This lawsuit is a $50 million lawsuit. This ain't nothing to play with. Maybe for a lawyer that ain't used to 50 million. But if Tony Bugsby say he want 50 million, it's a good chance Tony Bugsby gonna get 50 million. Having said that, I don't know how strong this case is for that to actually happen. I don't know how strong the case is. Okay, you got the dude in the hospital. That seemed like that's some real serious situation if he's still in the hospital. So I can see a payday coming for him. But the other three guys, one guy said that he was beat on for 10 minutes. Family, y'all know street fights do not last no damn 10 minutes. Maybe they whooped on him so good that he thought it was 10 minutes. But street fights don't last 10 minutes. It might seem like 10 minutes, but even if you factor in some holding and catching your breath and moving all around and posturing and stuff, a street fight tops 3 minutes. Tops. Street fights don't last no damn 10 minutes. If anybody take a whooping for 10 minutes, they're going to pretty much die. You're going to die. You ain't going to be standing up talking to authorities. At the very least, you'll be the one in the hospital. So I'm not buying that, fam. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. If in order for a street fight to last 10 minutes, you'd have to have professional trained fighters in there. Trained professional fighters fight for 3 minutes around. 3 minutes around, take a break. 3 minutes around, take another 3 minutes, take a break. 3 minutes, take a break. A trained fighter could do it, but a trained fighter fighting fighting anybody would pretty much kill. Somebody would die without a break, with no rules, no referee, no breaks, no headgear. Somebody's going to die for 10 minutes. No. Nah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. Going into the comments. Sharon Smith, what's up? What's up, Vincent Newton Jr.? K. Stewart, what it do? DeMel Elliott. What's up, Angela? Angela Dadnack. Lone Wolf, what's up? Yeah, who was that said? Somebody said, I haven't seen anything about this story. Where is it? It's right here on Willie D Live. Man, I keep telling y'all, man, I'm gonna get the news, man. I mean, like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't get no breaking news all the time, but sometimes, I'm gonna get on it, man. I just jump right on it. I'm gonna jump right on it. I don't have to get the breaking news, really, because my take is gonna invariably be different from most people's take. It's just the way that my mind is wired. I'm gonna have a different take. I got a different type of personality, so I'm gonna have a different take. So even if everybody else cover the story, I'm gonna still cover it in my own way. So I'm gonna bring a different angle to it. I'll bring a different perspective. But just because you ain't seen it anywhere else, don't mean it ain't valid. You dig what I'm saying? When y'all see stories on CNN, y'all don't be like, well, I ain't seen that nowhere else. What's going on? Y'all don't question it. Y'all just accept it. Some of these stories I'll get before CNN, because CNN ain't got their ear to the streets. King Butch, better tell him. What's up, Ruthie? Telvin Jones. What's up? Tori Love. Vix Tex, what it do? Sam Hain, what up? Oh yeah, fam. And to finish the story that I was telling earlier about the guy that I was boxing with, that I was sparring with, who we ended up actually fighting outside of the ring because he made some threats on my life. That it was all part of the setup, because when he got whooped, then he threatened to sue. He started the fight, got whooped, then threatened to sue. And then after I left the gym, the police pull up, and he was going to give a report at first, but then there was some people standing around who know me real good, you know, kind of like, so he kept it hush. And the police went on about their way. And then I think it may have been about a week later or so, he went and made a report. I talked to the DA. The DA was so cool. The DA say, man, this sounds like a money grab to me. That's what the DA said. Now, that's the type of DA I like. The DA told me straight up, this sounds like a money grab. Say, I'm gonna go ahead and take the report. I'll take the report, but this sounds like a money grab. And basically the DA said, like, we're not going to file charges against you. So that was out of the way. But as always, as often happens in these type of cases, we got down to the deadline, the 2 year, we got 2 years. What they call it? What they call that when you got statute of limitation? Yeah, 2 years statute of limitation. Right about a month left, I get a lawsuit. And the way I operate when it comes to lawsuits, fam, is that I fight lawsuits vehemently. I don't give nobody nothing. Like, because I just work too hard for mine. And I don't mess with people. I don't violate people. I don't run around starting stuff. So if I give it to somebody, they deserved it. So I'm not, now I will give money. I will make donations and help people out and stuff like that. But as far as just giving somebody a crook my money, somebody trying to take advantage of me, I don't let that happen. I don't take that. I don't accept that under no terms. I'll spend $1 million to not pay 10,000. That's how hard-headed I am. Yeah, I know, fam. Y'all say, no, you ain't hard-headed, you foolish. Yeah, say what you want to say, but I ain't giving them nothing. Nothing. I'll make you end up owing your lawyer mess with me. So that's what I did with that chunk. He thought he was gonna get something. That lawyer came down to it. I fought it like a murder case. And when it came down to it, the judge said, dismissed. See, when you standing on something, fam, when you stand on something, when you stand on righteousness, man, you can fight. Yeah, I was saying that, yeah, my hands are registered. And that's why, I don't just be jumping around like that. I don't just do it like that, because I know what'll happen. So, when your hands are registered and you put your hands on somebody, it's an assault. It's an automatic assault with a deadly weapon. They classify it as an assault with a deadly weapon. So that's why you'll notice, like, a lot of fighters, like boxers and stuff, and they don't get into street fights a lot. They don't just get into a lot of, like just crazy stuff on the streets, because the penalty is a whole lot stiffer. So you got to be all the way to the right. Now, if you all the way to the right, knock yourself out or knock somebody else out, Same like the situation with, what's the guy named Green, when Mike Tyson knocked that dude out who was messing with him in the store, and Mike Tyson put hands on him. Same thing when Mike Tyson put hands on the dude on the airplane. Mike was trying to hold back. Mike was Mitch Green. I think his name was Mitch Green, the dude that Mike Tyson put hands on. Yeah, Mitch Green. There you go. Yeah. So, you know, you try. A lot of times people think that people are scared of them when they don't immediately engage or fall for their foolery or want to fight. A lot of times it ain't that they're scared of you. It's they're scared of what they might do to you. That's why they don't immediately engage. So that's why you got to be real careful with people. You got to be very careful with a reluctant warrior. Reluctant warriors are very dangerous because once they let loose, you can forget about it. You'd rather fight one of them loudmouth dudes, one of them dudes that's always talking about what they're going to do to somebody. You'd rather fight that dude because really that's the dude that's really trying to keep somebody off of them. That's protection talk. All right, fam, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining the live. We'll see how this plays out. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But I will say this. There's a lot of witnesses. He said it was four of them. This is one of the guys, the accuser, says it was four of them and 40 girls. And then it's Chris's entourage. That's a lot of people. So I'm sure that whatever happens, we're gonna get some answers real soon. Not like I really want some answers. I mean, you know, I don't have a dog in the fight. I wish both sides well. Man, it's enough of this, man. We got bigger fish to fry, man. Really, we do. You know, man, it's bad out there right now, fam. We got bigger fish to fry. But had to bring this story to y'all because I mean, it is relevant and it is a situation where anybody could actually find themselves in. You ain't necessarily got to be Chris Brown to find yourself in a situation where you get into it with a rival or somebody that you got a problem with, and next thing you know, you find yourself facing a lawsuit. That's my time, fam. Until next time, I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.